Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Dyl Pickle Movie Network. I am Dylan Randazzo, and welcome to another live stream. This is the second day in a row that I've been doing a live stream. Yesterday, I released my bracket for March Madness Franchise Edition, which is going to be going through. Oh, trouble streaming to my destination. That's okay. Sorry, I just got a notification that one of the Facebook pages that I'm trying to link this to is not working, but that is okay. Live stream hullabaloo, everyone. Sorry about that. All right, we're all set. Can everyone see me? Are there people watching? I want to make sure this is working before I get into it. As I was saying, before I got interrupted by StreamYard, sorry, we have our March Madness bracket that we're doing. That is going on right now. You can follow along every single day. There will be more matches to vote on. They close usually at 4 p.m. Eastern every day. And then another one will be posted between 2 and 4 the day after. So we have another match coming to you in about an hour. I will post four more matches for that. So stay tuned for that. If you want to see the bracket reveal, go back to my live stream yesterday. But that's not what you're here for. I just wanted to plug that because it's another thing going on the channel. As you hear, my voice is not doing great. I kind of hit some jet lag sickness going from extreme cold to extreme hot to extreme cold temperatures. So I'm going to get through this as quick as I can. But it is time. You have waited for them, agonized over them. I mean, it has been months and months and months of me trying to catch up all the films I missed while I was on my cruise contract. And I'm finally here, having watched a bunch of films, about 100 films from last year, and now here to present my Pickle Award nominations. Now, when will the pickles be? When will you see these winners? We're looking at Friday the 13th of March will probably be the Pickle Awards. If there's any sort of change, it might be on the Thursday, it might be on the Saturday, but I will let you know. But right now, it's looking like Friday the 13th because Sunday the 15th is the Oscars, and I don't want to step on the toes. Also, I want to get my final predictions out, my death race out. So we're looking at Friday the 13th being the date for the Pickle Awards. That is going to be next Friday. As for when voting will close here, it's going to be a little bit quick. It's going to close Sunday night. Sunday night, the voting will close for this Pickle Awards, but I'll get the link out there as fast as I can on Facebook, Discord. I'll put it in the comments of this video once I'm done reading the nominees. So you can go and vote for all the winners, and make sure you vote because that is part of the fun of the Pickle Awards. It's my nominations. It's my favorites of each category. But you guys have a say. You guys have a say in who wins them. I'll be giving out my Pickle Award, but there is always an audience award that you can give out as well. So I want to make sure this is a collaborative effort. It's always been about the network, the Dyl Pickle Movie Network, and this is part of the networking is getting you all to vote on these awards. So let us get right into it. The Pickle Awards 2025. I say 2025 because when we look back, these are going to be the movies of 2025. So I'm very, very excited to show you what I have conjured up as my nominations here for the 2025 sixth annual Pickle Awards. So in traditional fashion with the Oscars, I'm actually going to start with two huge categories, supporting actor and supporting actress. So here we go. The nominations for Best Supporting Actor are Miles Keaton, Sinners, Billy Crudup, Jay Kelly, Paul Mescal, Hamnet, Pedro Pascal, Freaky Tales, and Sean Penn, One Battle After Another. Moving on to supporting actress, the nominees are Marissa Abella, Black Bag, Naomi Ackie, Sorry Baby, Una Chaplin, Avatar Fire and Ash, Tanya Maria, The Secret Agent, and Tiana Taylor for One Battle After Another. So here we go. Two big ones out the gate. Only went 1 for 5 with the Oscars in those categories, but it's because there were a lot of great performances. And some supporting performances are actually, in my mind, lead. So we'll get there when we get there. But let's move on to some of the superlatives, starting with the Best Movie Opening and Best Movie Closing. The nominees for Best Movie Opening, the first opening scene or montage or sequence or shot of a movie. Here we go. Best nominees for Best Movie Opening. Final Destination, Bloodlines, One Battle After Another, Splitsville, Superman, and Weapons. And now the nominees for the Best Movie Closing. The nominees are Begonia, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, Sinners, and Superman. Now we're going to move on to the music categories. So as you know, we always do score and song, but we also have a fun category, which is needle drops, the best use of a pre-existing song in film, whether it is played diegetically or non-diegetically or sung by the characters, whatever it may be. These are songs that were not made for the movies, but were used in the movies. The nominees for Best Use of a Pre-Existing Song are American Girl, One Battle After Another, Dirty Work, One Battle After Another, Everybody Wants to Rule the World, Marty Supreme, Firework, Eddington, and Punk Rocker, Superman. Now moving on to the nominees for Best Original Song. The nominees are Golden, K-Pop Demon Hunters, Highest to Lowest, from Highest to Lowest, I Lied to You, from Sinners, Last Time I Seen the Sun, from Sinners, and Soda Pop, from K-Pop Demon Hunters. And moving on to the Best Original Score, the nominees are Jay Kelly, composed by Nicholas Bertel, Marty Supreme, composed by Daniel Lopatin, One Battle After Another, composed by Johnny Greenwood, Resurrection, composed by Anthony Gonzalez, and Sinners, composed by Ludwig Göransson. Now moving on, of course, we heard the music. Now we're going to hear the voices of the animated film category. So the nominees for Best Voice Actor are Jason Bateman, Zootopia 2, Remy Edgerly, Elio, Jonas Kibrieb, Elio, Will Patton, Train Dreams, and Ben Whishaw, Paddington in Peru. And the nominees for Best Voice Actress are Louise Charpentier, Little Amelie or the Character of Rain, Arden Cho, K-Pop Demon Hunters, Fortune Feimster, Zootopia 2, Jennifer Goodwin, Zootopia 2, and Zoe Saldana, Elio. And the nominations for Best Animated Feature: Arco, Elio, K-Pop Demon Hunters, Little Amelie or the Character of Rain, and Zootopia 2. Let's get into some of the romance here. Some rom-coms, some roms, some drams. Let's get into the Best On-Screen Couple and Best Kiss categories. We're so MTV here at the Dyl Pickle Movie Network. Here we go. The nominees for Best On-Screen Couple are Pamela Anderson and Liam Neeson, a real couple now, in The Naked Gun, Kate Blanchett and Michael Fassbender, Black Bag, Rachel Brosnahan and David Cornsweet, Superman, Jessie Buckley and Paul Mescal, Hamnet, and Michael B. Jordan and Wunmi Mosaku for Sinners. And moving on to the Best Kiss, the nominees are Rachel Brosnahan and David Cornsweet, Superman, Jessie Buckley and Paul Mescal, Hamnet, Lee Jeng-shi and Jackson Yee, Resurrection, Michael B. Jordan and Haley Steinfeld, Sinners, and Amber Midthunder and Jack Quaid for Novocaine. So we got some romance. Now let's get some comedy, some comedies and musicals. The nominees for Best Actor in a Comedy and or Musical Film. The nominees are Liam Neeson, The Naked Gun, Josh O'Connor, Wake Up, Dead Man, A Knives Out Mystery, Pedro Pascal, Freaky Tales, Joaquin Phoenix, Eddington, and Channing Tatum, Roofman. And the nominees for Best Actress in a Comedy and or Musical. The nominees are Naomi Ackie, Sorry Baby, Glenn Close, Wake Up, Dead Man, A Knives Out Mystery, Ariana Grande Botera, Wicked for Good, Amanda Seyfried, The Testament of Anne Lee, and Eva Victor for Sorry Baby. And the nominees for Best Comedy and or Musical Film are Eddington, Freaky Tales, Pavements, Roofman, and Sorry Baby. And now we're going to get into some of the creepier categories, starting with the Best Villain and or Antagonist Performance. The nominees are Una Chaplin, Avatar, Fire and Ash, Nicholas Hoult, Superman, Stephen Lang, Avatar, Fire and Ash, Amy Madigan, Weapons, and Sean Penn for One Battle After Another. Now going from the villains to the sci-fi and or horror film categories, the nominees for Best Actor in a Sci-Fi and or Horror Film. The nominees are Miles Caton, Sinners, Jacob Elordi, Frankenstein, David Johnson, The Long Walk, Michael B. Jordan, Sinners, and Delroy Lindo for Sinners. And the nominees for Best Actress in a Sci-Fi and or Horror Film. The nominees are Sally Hawkins, Bring Her Back, Amy Madigan, Weapons, Wunmi Mosaku, Sinners, Haley Steinfeld, Sinners, and Sophie Thatcher, Companion. And the nominees for Best Sci-Fi and or Horror Film, the nominees are 28 Years Later, Companion, The Long Walk, Presence, and Sinners. Those are some great films. Now, some not so great films. Some of them great for bad reasons. We love them because they're bad. Others, they're just bad and unnecessary. Some were well made, but why? Why do we need them? And that is the nominees for Best Worst Film of the Year. Worst Film of the Year, which will be presented, as always, by Matt Chapman. The nominees are Happy Gilmore 2, How to Train Your Dragon, the 2025 remake, Jurassic World Rebirth, Megan 2.0, and War of the Worlds. And now moving on to some better films again, we're going to get into the action categories. First starting with the best stunts. The nominees are Avatar: Fire and Ash, Ballerina, F1, Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning, and Sinners. Now moving on to the best action sequence. The nominees are the biplane fight, I guess it's a flight and a fight. Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning, the car chase, one battle after another, the fight scene in Splitsville, the Mr. Terrific fight scene in Superman, and Sleepy Floyd's Revenge, straight out of page of Tarantino in Freaky Tales. Now moving on to the best actor in an action film. The nominees are David Cornsweet, Superman, Benicio del Toro, One Battle After Another, Leonardo DiCaprio, One Battle After Another, Sean Penn, One Battle After Another, and Lewis Pullman for Thunderbolts**. And moving on to the best actress in an action film. The nominees are Rachel Brosnahan, Superman, Una Chaplin, Avatar: Fire and Ash, Elle Fanning, Predator: Badlands, Chase Infinity for One Battle After Another, and Tiana Taylor for One Battle After Another. And finally, the nominees for Best Action Film. The nominees are Avatar: Fire and Ash, Ballerina, One Battle After Another, Superman, and Thunderbolts**. Now, before I get into the categories that the Oscars give out, those were all like our superlatives, our genre categories. I'm going to just tell you really quickly. I've already said it on other shows, but our Legacy Award this year, we always give our Legacy Award to someone who has made an impact on media that we lose this year, but that we will remember fondly forever, that has really influenced the game. And in this case, influenced the world of directing, the world of acting, the world of Westerns, and of course, the world of film festivals. And the recipient of the Legacy Award this year will be Mr. Robert Redford. So Robert Redford will be our Legacy Award recipient this year, whose impact has really made this channel possible, with his contributions, not just to film and direction, but to Sundance as well, which is a big part of why I do what I do, is to go to festivals and cover festivals. And we wouldn't have as many festivals, let alone thriving festivals, without him. So we'll get into it on the Pickle Awards, but the honor of the Legacy Award will be going to Robert Redford. Now to get into some of the categories that the Oscars themselves give out, which is a lot of the tech categories, we're going to start with Best Hair and Makeup. The nominees are 28 Years Later, Frankenstein, Sinners, Weapons, and Wicked for Good. As for design, let's go on to costume design. Let's go on to the nominees. The nominees are Frankenstein, Hamnet, Kiss of the Spider-Woman, Sinners, and Wicked for Good. Sticking along with the design categories, let's go to production design. The nominees are The Fantastic Four, First Steps, Frankenstein, Marty Supreme, Sinners, and Wicked for Good. Moving on to cinematography, the nominees for Best Cinematography are 28 Years Later, One Battle After Another, Resurrection, Sinners, and Train Dreams. And moving on to the sound category, the best sound, Avatar: Fire and Ash, If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You, Resurrection, Sinners, and Sirat. And the nominees for Best Visual Effects, the nominees are Avatar: Fire and Ash, F1, The Lost Bus, Mickey 17, and Sinners. And lastly, for the tech categories, the nominees for Best Film Editing, the nominees are Good Boy, Marty Supreme, No Other Choice, One Battle After Another, and Sinners. Now moving on to two other picture categories that the Oscars have. One is the Best International Feature Film. The nominees are from France, It Was Just an Accident, from South Korea, No Other Choice, from China, Resurrection, from Brazil, The Secret Agent, and from Spain, Sirat. And now we go from international features to documentary features, but we do a little bit of a spin here on the Dyl Pickle Movie Network, and especially this year, that spin will come in handy, where we don't just award documentaries, but we also include concert films and or pro shots of Broadway shows or theater, or in this case, West End shows as well. So here are the nominees for Best Documentary, Pro Shot, or Concert Film. The nominees are Grand Theft Hamlet, Merrily We Roll Along, Next to Normal, Pavements, and The Perfect Neighbor. Now let's move on to some of the writing categories, starting with our best original screenplay. The nominees are Blue Moon, written by Robert Kaplow; Jay Kelly, written by Noah Baumbach; Marty Supreme, written by Ronald Bronstein and Josh Safdie; Sinners, written by Ryan Coogler; Sorry Baby, written by Ava Victor. And moving on to the best adapted screenplay, the nominees are 28 Years Later, written by Alex Garland, continuing the 28 Days Later franchise; Hamnet, written by Chloe Zhao and Maggie O'Farrell, based on the novel by Maggie O'Farrell; No Other Choice, written by Park Chan-wook, Lee Kyung-mi, Don McKellar, and Lee Jae-hai, based on the novel The Axe by Donald Westlake; One Battle After Another, written by Paul Thomas Anderson, based on the novel Vinland by Thomas Pynchon; Wake Up Dead Man, a Knives Out mystery, written by Ryan Johnson, and the character Benoit Blanc, based on the film Knives Out. So those are your original and adapted screenplays. Now it's time to get into some of the acting categories, starting with the best acting ensemble. We have the cast of Black Bag, the cast of The Long Walk, the cast of Marty Supreme, the cast of One Battle After Another, and the cast of Sinners. Now moving on to some of the individual acting prizes, starting with the best young actor or actress. The nominees are Everett Blunk, Griffin in Summer; Everett Blunk again in The Plague; Miles Caton, Sinners; Jacoby Jupe, Hamnet; and Kyle Martin, The Plague. Here we go. We got 4 categories left. The nominees for Best Actor are Timothée Chalamet, Marty Supreme; George Clooney, Jay Kelly; Leonardo DiCaprio, One Battle After Another; Ethan Hawke, Blue Moon; and Michael B. Jordan, Sinners. Now moving on to the nominees for Best Actress. The nominees are Jessie Buckley, Hamnet; Rose Byrne, If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You; Kathleen Chalfant, Familiar Touch; Ariana Grande Botera, Wicked for Good; and Ava Victor, Sorry Baby. 2 categories left. This one is a big one. We have the nominees for Best Director. The nominees are Paul Thomas Anderson, One Battle After Another; James Cameron, Avatar, Fire and Ash; Ryan Coogler, Sinners; Be Gone, Resurrection; and Josh Safdie, Marty Supreme. Which takes us to the final category of the day, which I will remind everyone, the poll will be posted in the comments and in the description of the video below right after this ends. So stay tuned for that. Stick around for that and keep your eyes open for that. Go vote. Exercise your right to vote at the Pickle Awards. Thank you so much. I'm going to go lie down. I have a pulsing headache. My voice is going, but I have time to list off 10 titles, which are my top 10 movies of the year in no particular order. There will be an order come Pickle Awards, but you'll have to find out next Friday for that one. But the nominees for Best Picture are Avatar, Fire and Ash; Blue Moon, It Was Just an Accident; Jay Kelly; Marty Supreme; No Other Choice; One Battle After Another; Resurrection; The Secret Agent; and Sinners. So there you have it. That is my top 10 films of the year, my Best Picture nominees for the Pickle Awards this year. That is who you're going to be voting on for Best Picture right there. I am taking the link right now. I'm putting it in the comments. 3, 2, 1. Bam! So now you have the link to vote if you would like to vote. I will also put it in the description of the video. But thank you guys so much for watching this. I hope you have a good rest of your day. Keeping this right under 20 minutes. Stay tuned for the Pickle Awards next Friday, Friday the 13th, in case anything spooky happens and we have to delay it a day or push it a day earlier. I will let you all know. But check it out. Facebook page, Discord. Go vote for the different categories and let me know what you think. I know there's some snubs, but these are my favorites, and you can disagree, but that is what my opinion is, so you can't change it. All you can do is exercise your right to vote for the winner of those 5 in each category, or in Best Picture's case, 10. But I want to get this under 20 minutes, so I'm going to head out now. But thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your day, and vote for March Madness as well. We have polls going every single day. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.